I am aware that there are a lot of videos being put forth to speak about the upcoming conclave. But as a traditional Catholic bishop, I have a perspective that I have not heard from any of the other commentators, and I hope that you will find them enlightening and as a good guide for the next coming weeks. I want to enumerate 5 points that prove that this conclave cannot elect a Catholic pope. After I enumerate them, I will explain each one. I will try to keep it as simple and short as I can. Number 1, none of the cardinal electors hold the true Catholic faith. Number 2, the office of cardinal is there to defend, protect, and provide for what God has handed to the apostles. Number 3, therefore the cardinals represent God to men. But because these cardinals are modernists, they represent man to God. Number 4, the focus of validity needs to first be placed upon the cardinal electors and then upon the one that they would elect. And number 5, the agenda of the Second Vatican Council continues to be the agenda of these men, and that is a humanitarian effort and a social engineering reform, and not a theological and spiritual presentation to the world of God and his love and his goodness. If you like what you hear so far, please make sure that you like this video, that you subscribe if you have not subscribed, that you share this video. And there's also a little bell there that will give you notifications of future videos. It's important that you take these steps because this is how the video gets put out there on the market. There are millions and millions of people that view YouTube, but they won't see this video if the algorithms think that people are not interested or they don't like it. So please take the effort to do this and play your part in bringing the Catholic faith to more souls. So now let me go through each one of these points a little bit more detail, but I said I'll try to keep it as simple as I possibly can. First of all, the cardinal electors do not hold the Catholic faith. Our Lord Jesus Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. But since the Second Vatican Council, the number one doctrine is ecumenism. All faiths lead to God. All people, no matter, even if they do not believe, will find their way to heaven. Because of this, you cannot say that any of these men hold the Catholic faith. For the Catholic faith teaches that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And that no man comes to the Father except through him and by the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. Number 2, the chair of St. Peter, which is now vacant and has been vacant for at least 40 to 50 years. That chair is there in order to have the authority to protect and defend and provide for. It also has as a protection the keys. And there is a man, but that man dies in 2 ways, either spiritually or physically. And when he does, the chair is vacant. When the chair is vacant, that does not mean that the Catholic Church ceases. It simply means that that third part of the authority is not in place. But because the chair remains and because the keys remain, all of the pronouncements of that chair, from that chair, of the past legitimate and true popes continue to be in effect because of the keys. When a dogma is pronounced, which is a defense of doctrine coming from authority, the keys are turned and locks out anyone who teaches or believes something contrary into perpetuity forever. No pope can come and undo it now. This key point is another reason why this conclave cannot elect a Catholic pope. Third, the modernists represent man, not God. This is proven by the idea that they have to have cardinals representing persons from different parts of the world. In the past, and at one time, there was only 18 cardinals. They were all Italian. It didn't matter. They weren't representing Italy or Italians. They were representing God. It doesn't matter if they're all Chinese, all African, all American, as long as they continue to defend and protect what God handed to the apostles, then they are fulfilling their office. But these men, because of the Second Vatican Council and the idea or their doctrine that the church is made up of men of all places and all times, they have to have cardinals like representatives here in this country of every part and every country. And therefore, now the idea is we're going to elect a man from China or a man from Africa because those are parts of the continent that are not represented as much as the Europeans are represented, and so forth. That tells you right there that they will never be able to elect a Catholic pontiff because they are already setting out to elect a president instead of a pontiff. Also, the focus of validity, again, needs to be on the cardinals. In order for there to be a valid election according to canon law, 2/3 of the cardinal electors must agree. But those cardinal electors must be Catholic. If they are not Catholic, then there would not be an election. Or let's just say, for argument's sake, there are 10 actual Catholics. That would mean 7 of them would have to agree. But we wouldn't know which 7 there are because right now there's like 134 electors, 108 of which Francis, who is a rabid heretic, has put in office there. So do not believe that this conclave will elect a valid pope. They will not. And if they are not themselves Catholic, even the man that they might elect by 2/3 of their majority, they would elect a man who wasn't Catholic to sit on the throne, as is the case, as I said, from the time of John the 23rd on. There has not been a Catholic who's held the Catholic faith. You might have had a valid cardinalate of men that were validly ordained and validly consecrated as bishops to elect him, but by the fact that he did not hold the Catholic faith, he could not have been elected Supreme Pontiff. And the 5th point is, again, their agenda. Their agenda is humanitarian. Their agenda is social. And so what I have heard on every single video that I have watched has been, is this man socially conservative or socially liberal? Do not confuse that with, is this man doctrinally Catholic or is this man doctrinally non-Catholic? Because that's the real question. His social agenda doesn't matter to the Catholic faith. It matters to the modernists because that is their agenda. It's humanitarian. But for us who are Catholic, our agenda is to provide for the Catholic faithful through valid sacraments coming from validly consecrated bishops who ordain validly ordained priests, who offer a valid Mass, and therefore the grace that flows from it comes to the faithful. And to protect and to defend this truth so that you as Catholic faithful will be able to be in communion with God and his holy church. So again, the conclave is not going to produce a good and holy Catholic Pope. That doesn't mean that there cannot be a good and holy Catholic Pope in the future. The electors could elect a man, and that man could then have fooled them, and he could denounce the Second Vatican Council and all of the errors publicly, and he could then be elected by those men who remain with him, who would show that they are true Catholic bishops, and that could happen that way. But as it's set up now, it's not possible. I don't want to take hope away from people. I want to make sure that your hope is on God and his church and not on men who have somehow found a way to bypass God and his church and provide for and protect their humanitarian agenda rather than give to you the true Catholic faith. God bless you and keep the faith.